later in her presentation. And then any kind of questions that you may have, there is an email at the end of my presentation where you can reach me. So if any of you is interested in the Great Scholarships and have any questions about the process, I'm more than happy to guide you through it. Thank you, Rodrigo. If we can go to the next. So super quickly, this is one of the things that we do in the British Council. So please just bear in mind that the UK is 4 nations. So we actually have 4 countries in the UK because this is a very common misconception. So there are 4 countries. The one that is now Emma is in England, but we have England, we have Scotland, we have Wales, and we have Northern Ireland. So please just make that certain when you're applying for the UK. There are 4 countries in the UK, and each country has its different requirements, and each country is completely different and unique. The study pretty much is the same in terms of the quality and education that you can have there, but you can travel freely between each of the UK nations once you go there as a student. And obviously the opportunity to study in the UK gives you the opportunity to discover all 4 countries that are in the UK. Thank you, Rodrigo. Next one. So reasons, and these are just some of the reasons that we have for studying in the UK. The UK is commonly among the top global rankings for universities, and this is regardless the subject that you're interested in studying. You have exceptional teaching standards. So being a country so small, I mean, in terms of, for example, if we compare it to Mexico, the UK has over 282 universities. So the teaching standards pretty much are top of the roof. A great student experience. The UK is actually a very, very rich and multicultural country. I say this as myself. I'm a graduate of the UK. I was in the UK for my master's and my PhD, and I can tell you, you're going to meet pretty much people from all over the world, regardless which of the 4 countries in the UK you are, and regardless what university you choose. It's a very multicultural experience. And the same goes for your lecturers. So you're going to have lecturers from pretty much all over the world in the UK. Excellent employment prospects. So when you're a graduate from a UK university, a UK degree pretty much opens the door for you at the job market. So you're going to be respected by employers, academics from all over the world. And this, again, is regardless the discipline that you're going to study. Next one, Rodrigo. So again, best in science, research and innovation. So the UK is consistently on top of any kind of innovation in terms of arts, science, technology, literature, you name it. So pretty much the UK is top of the world for most innovative countries. Even though the country is small in terms of size, is usually ranked number 1 for impact in scientific research. So this is very, very important for you to keep in mind. Is home to the Russell Group, which is universities that are renowned for world-leading research. This is a group of universities in the UK that are particularly recognized globally for world-leading research in all the fields. So this is not just a STEM, this is pretty much in all the fields. Next one, Rodrigo. Strong links with industry. So this is, again, something that makes the UK a bit different from other countries. If you're considering other countries to go and study your master's, not only the masters are shorter in the UK, so most masters in the UK are 1 year. And this is an advantage because if you consider other countries, for example, the US or any other countries, most of the times the masters are 2 years. And what the UK also has is that they have very strong links with many industries, both in the UK and internationally. So you will have, depending on the discipline that you're going to study in the UK, most of the times you're going to have this kind of industry-led learning approaches. And most of the times also, most UK universities will offer you placements, internships, or any kind of volunteering positions as part of your course. So I think this is essential, especially if you're going to do and study a master's, because it gives you this kind of hands-on experience that you wouldn't get in other countries or you wouldn't get in other masters that you can go and study. All universities in the UK also hold any kind of job career fairs. They also have a work team, especially if you're interested in finding a job. There is a part that you can stay in the UK, and I'm going to touch upon this a bit later. But if you're interested in improving your career prospects, CV writing, interview writing, any kind of help that you may need, each university has a dedicated team for you to also help you achieve that. Next one, Rodrigo. How you can stay in the UK after you graduate. So there is something that is called the graduate visa. So this allows you to stay in the UK for up to 18 months if you're a master's student. So it's 18 months. And if you're a PhD student, it's up to 3 years. So basically, this is open to all international students. What's the benefit of this visa? Is not sponsored. So pretty much you can apply as soon as you complete your credits, and as soon as you have passed and graduated from your master's, you can pretty much apply for the graduate route. It's unsponsored, and it also allows you to switch to a skilled work visa once you have found a suitable job. So this is also a very good attraction to the UK. Next one, Rodrigo. So what we're looking for a great scholar, which is pretty much of you that are interested, you need to have an undergraduate degree. It's not compulsory that you have the degree. It's compulsory that you have finished all of your credits and you have finished all of your classes. That you meet the English language requirement. This changes per university, so Emma will probably talk a little bit more about that, but you need to meet the English language requirement to be accepted. You need to establish an engagement with the UK in terms of with the UK sector. So we may have, for example, at some point, if you are a great scholar, we may approach you, even the university that you have studied in, or ourselves as British Council, so that you may work as an ambassador to promote the Great Scholarships campaign for the next future students. You will also be willing to keep this kind of contact with your university and with us. And obviously, as an alumnus from the Great Scholarships, you may be asked sometimes to participate either on a webinar or maybe in a promotional campaign from the British Council. So you may participate with a video or a short comment, etc., etc. Next one, Rodrigo. So how do they work? And this is probably the key thing of the Great Scholarships. So the Great Scholarships gives you £10,000 towards tuition fees. So if you think about, depending on the currency exchange that is at the moment, it's actually a pretty good amount of money. So it could be between 260,000, 250,000, 280,000, depending on the exchange rate. But it's a good amount of money. So what is important with the Great Scholarships? This is not money that is given to you. This is money that is paid for your tuition fees only. Scholarships are offered for postgraduate taught courses. So this is very important. You have to move to the UK. So it has to be an in-person master's degree. You cannot apply for online degrees. You cannot apply for hybrid degrees. It has to be fully in person in the UK. You can apply to more than one university. If you have seen the campaign that we have in the UK, in the British Council, currently we have 11 universities that are open for the Great Campaign. So if you decided to apply for Royal Holloway and you say, hey, you know what, maybe I want to apply to Aberdeen in Scotland, you can apply to more than one university. So this is something that we tell you as a British Council. There is no restriction. You can apply to as many universities as you want. Obviously, this will be more work for you because then you will have to complete the different requirements and you will have to fulfill all the different requirements of the different universities. But you're pretty much at a very good period of time. So it's January, and pretty much the campaign for most universities will close in either mid-April to late April, sometimes even in May. The deadline, this is important, varies by institution. So if you have chosen already your university, please get in touch with your officer, in this case, Emma, and she will guide you with the deadline. So you will have to follow the deadlines of the university. We as British Council don't have a deadline. And pretty much the whole admission process is dealt by the university. So pretty much the only thing that we do in the British Council is we put the money to send you to the UK, and the rest is pretty much dealt by the universities. You can apply if you're studying an undergraduate degree. So this is important. As long as you meet all the other requirements. So as long as, let's say this is your last semester and you want to apply to go in September, as long as you have fulfilled all the academic credits that you need to have a full awarded undergraduate degree, you can do it. Again, this depends by university. So some universities may allow you to, some universities may not. Next one, Rodrigo. So how you can do it, I will put the website, probably you are aware. I will put the website. So you go to that website, you find the country, in this case, Mexico, you will find all the list of universities that are open. And then what I recommend is clicking on each of the university, and then each of them will give you the programs that they are open. All of them are going to give you not only the programs, but also the masters that are open for that program, because each university decides how many master programs they open for the Great Scholarships. So this doesn't mean that each university will open 100% of their master's degrees to be funded by Great, but maybe some of them will have all of them, maybe others will have just a few. And one of the things that I want to also emphasize here, and it's good that FUNED is here, this scholarship is not exclusive. So if you get a great scholarship, they give you £10,000 for your fees, but this doesn't mean that you cannot apply for any other financial help. You can apply to other financial help. So you can apply to either FUNED, you can apply to CECITI, what used to be CONACYT. You can apply to other kind of funding to pretty much make up the pot that will allow you to go to the UK. So I think this is one of the great benefits of the Great Scholarships. That is not an exclusive campaign, and it's not an exclusive scholarship that pretty much forbids you from getting financial help from any other organization or group, or even your personal savings. Next one, Rodrigo. So the applicants, this is just very, very generic. Start early. And I think you're pretty much at the right time of the year to start. So I would always say start in January, look at all the courses that are open, what English tests you require, because sometimes, believe it or not, that is pretty much why many students don't go, because you don't have the time to actually take the English test that is required. Apply to 6 months. This is for the visa. So this is also mixed with the visas. Prepare key documents. If you need translations, if you need any kind of certified translation, that takes time. So bear in mind that that's going to take you at least 1 week, 2 weeks. For the visa, you may be called for a short interview. And I put this one because we may have situations in which, in the case of Mexico, is very, very unlikely. But sometimes once you have been approved and once you've been given your CAS, which is a Certificate of Acceptance of Studies, that is when you can apply for your visa. And then once you're there, pretty much they will ask you, like, for example, why did you choose the UK? Why did you choose this university? Why did you choose this course? How your studies find or fit your future plan. And this is something that also will help you prepare even for admission to Royal Holloway, because many of the universities will ask you, okay, why are you choosing us? So why are you choosing Royal Holloway and you're not choosing Edinburgh, for example? So all the information, please make sure that you have everything up to date, passport, ID, transcripts, English, everything else. Next one, Rodrigo. I put there some links. Again, this is for trusted information sources. We recommend do not go to social media, because this is something that a lot of the students do. Always go to trusted information sources. In the case of trusted information sources, Royal Holloway with Emma, that is the university that you're applying, British Council, who is basically the administrator of the great scholarships, and then government. So if you're gonna go for your visa, please always go to the Gov.uk website, because there are many students that go to either Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and then they see a lot of information and then it's not true. So please just make sure that you go to trusted websites. There is an advice for international students, which is Oxisa, which I recommend because they have a lot of tips for arrival, accommodation, support services, etc. So please avoid any kind of unofficial blog, social media advice, because it's sometimes you don't know if it's up to date, sometimes you don't know if it's accurate, and sometimes you don't even know if it's true. Next one, Rodrigo. And that's it. So my details are there. So if you need any contact, any kind of question, any kind of doubt that you may have, that's my email address, and I'm more than happy to help you through the process together with Emma. And if you have any questions, I think we can resolve it and work on your application. Thank you very much, Rodrigo.
Thank you. Shall I get going now for Royal Holloway? Is that the next bit? Liz Day, thank you so much for that. You've covered a few of the bits in my presentation, so it means that I can skip through some of the generic bits and pieces. Let me start by sharing my screen. Hopefully you can see that. Is that my presentation that is on your screen in front of you?
Yes, we can see it, Emma.
Okay, perfect. Amazing. So yeah, thank you, Liz Day, so much. That was a really brilliant overview of the scholarship scheme and why you might want to consider the UK as a destination. So my name's Emma. I work at Royal Holloway. I'm based in the UK. I would be your point of contact if ever you were to have any questions at all about the university. But equally, if you're just interested in the UK as a destination and you're just starting out in this process and you want to ask me very general questions, I would be very happy to help and guide you through this process. So I've put together some slides, and this is a brief overview of what I'll cover. I'll skip over why the UK because that has been covered, and then I'll just go straight into why you might want to consider beautiful Royal Holloway as one of your universities to apply to study at. So I'll go over the location of the university, the campus, both of our campuses, what life is like as a postgraduate student studying at the university. I've got a brief snapshot and overview of some of our masters and programs that we offer, especially those that we have a very good reputation and some that we're very well known for. And then a little bit of a dive into what you can expect in terms of student life, and then a brief overview of the application process. And then hopefully there'll be time for some questions at the end. So I think I've covered, I think Liz Day has covered all of these points on here. Just to add that a bit about geography, I guess, that we're very, very close to mainland Europe. And one of the reasons that our international students love studying in the UK is that they get to hop on a plane or a train and explore all our amazing neighbouring European cities and countries. And then just the last point there to add that London is an amazing destination. So Liz Day mentioned that the UK is made up of 4 different countries, each offering something different and unique, but London is a very special place to live and to study for students, and is consistently ranked as a top student city destination. So I think that's all the generic stuff. We can go straight into why Royal Holloway is a great university. So this is just a picture to start with, in case you're not familiar with the university. It's an incredibly photogenic, picturesque, beautiful campus to live and to study. This is quite a special view of the campus, because you can see 2 very different buildings that are very centrally located. So on your right is Founders Building, which was built in the 1800s. It's part of the original infrastructure of the university, and it's very rich in history and culture and the arts. There's a beautiful Victorian art gallery that's located in the campus, and it's now one of our housing options for undergraduate students. And then right opposite it is our Emily Wilding Davison building, which was built in 2017, so comparatively not that long ago compared to the 1800s, and is where a lot of our student services, our library facilities are for students. So yeah, this is quite a unique and interesting perspective of those 2 buildings. So the location of the university, I love it. I think that our students get the best of both worlds. And what you can see in front of you is the distance of both of our campuses from London. So from central London, I should say. And that Heathrow is basically right in the middle of the 2, which is super convenient for our international students. It makes it very easy for our students from Mexico to jump off a plane from Heathrow and be at either of our campuses. So the larger campus, the campus where most of our students study, is about 40 minutes from London, and it's in a town called Egham. The campus is situated on 130 acres of parkland. It's the beautiful campus that was just pictured in the slide before. It's where most of our programs are taught. So all of our undergraduate students are being taught at this campus, and most of our masters and graduate programs are taught in Egham as well. So it's very likely that if you're thinking about studying at the university, that you would be at the larger more traditional campus-based university, which kind of feels like a mini city. However, we do have a central London campus, which is right in the heart of the city, and I'll talk about the campus and what it's like in a bit more detail, but it's a perfect location, especially for our graduate students who really want to be in the heart of the capital city. It's just a handful, I think it's around 9 of our masters that are taught at the central London campus, so it's not a choice that our students can make It just depends on what it is that you want to study. That dictates which campus that you will be located at. But both campuses are beautiful and amazing, and our students love the environment and the locations that they study at, regardless of which campus. So some more photos for you, and just sort of a description of what the Egham campus is like. As I said, it was built in the 1800s. So it's rich in history, but it has, since then expanded quite a lot. So it has a much more modern feel as well. It's a really beautiful campus. It's also incredibly safe, and we've got some amazing modern facilities available for our students to take advantage of, whether that's teaching, research, social spaces as well. We've got lots of different support services for our students, including careers support, student services, international student support. And these are things that I'll talk about in a bit more detail, but it's all super, super convenient. So it kind of feels like a mini city. Everything that our students can need are all in one space, and it's very, very easy for students to access everything that's available to them. And then at the bottom there, I've listed some of our sort of world-class facilities. We've got an incredible Omnidrome centre, which is a drone development centre. It's a space that students that are studying computer science, electronic engineering, sort of bio, life sciences, also psychology, students that are carrying out research, especially at a graduate and PhD level, get to use these incredible facilities. We've got a superfab facility, which is a semiconductor quantum lab, an incredible futures studio, which is basically a brand new media center. So for students that are studying media arts, they have access to these very expensive, very impressive screens on campus. And we also have advanced neuroscience and MRI facilities. I think we were one of the first, if not the first, university to have an MRI scanner on a university campus. So just an example and a snapshot of some of the amazing facilities that our students in Egham can take advantage of. So just so you can sort of visualize, I guess, what the campus looks like. Like I said, it's a purpose-built campus, kind of has that mini city feel. It's situated on parkland, so it's really, really green and spacious. There's lots of really beautiful wildlife on campus. It's actually a really lovely space for students to go for a wander if they're feeling stressed or they just need a moment to themselves, whatever it might be. There's lots of beautiful walks in this woodland campus for students to take advantage of. But just to break down some of the buildings for you, what you can see in front of you are some of our accommodation and housing options. So we guarantee housing for students. The purple are those different housing options. Like I said, the beautiful Founders Building is basically located centrally on campus, and then the rest of our housing is more sort of on the outside, scattered around the outside, and borders the campus. In the middle, all of the blue buildings you can see are sort of our faculty buildings. That's where a lot of the academic magic will take place. And then some of the red buildings scattered in and amongst are where our social spaces are. So cafes, bars, restaurants. We have incredible sports facilities. I think we're one of the few universities, maybe even the only University of London group to have such advanced sports facilities for students to take advantage of, located on campus. And of course our students union, which is where lots of events, social and otherwise, will take place on campus. So you might be even familiar with the campus and the building. It's often used as a filming location. I was on campus not too long ago, just before Christmas, and they were setting it up as a filming location. I was trying to suss out and see any celebrities and see what was going on, but I think all the actual filming and the exciting part was happening the next day, so I was just seeing it being set up. But it is often used as a film location, quite famously for some Netflix series including The Crown and You. It's been featured in the Avengers films, and a few other bits and pieces as well that you might recognize there. So yeah, we often see it used as a filming location. So that's the Egham campus. Our central London campus is right in the heart of the city, and it's perfect for our graduate students who are industry and career focused, because it's the perfect location for them to sort of have direct access to all the networking opportunities that are right in the city centre. It's a collaborative space, so Royal students from Royal Holloway and other University of London students will share facilities, including the historic Senate House Library. And there are accommodation options which allow students from Royal Holloway to share spaces with other University of London universities. So it's quite a sort of collaborative opportunity for students then to meet other students from other central London universities. So, postgraduate study at the university, many of our courses are professionally accredited, which is a really important point and something that Liz Day commented on as well. We give our students the opportunity to work and study and research alongside our academics. My recommendation to students who are interested in this sort of opportunity is always to make themselves known to the academics if you're wanting to support them with their research, which can lead to paid opportunities. Make it known to them that that's something that you're interested in. Probably not relevant at this point if you're thinking about applying for 2026 entry, because we do have some January starts. It's a very limited number, but if you end up delaying your entry from September 2026, it is possible that we might be able to offer you a place for January 2027. It's a very limited number, but it is a possibility that we could offer that. As I've mentioned, some of our facilities that you would have access to, it's all very, very convenient, whether it's research, social space, academic, and regardless of the campus, the facilities are very, very accessible for our students. We offer a wide range of courses, and I'll touch on that and some of our research areas in a bit more detail, but just some that we're sort of known for include public health, cybersecurity, information security, sustainability, and gender studies as well. And then something else that Liz Day commented on that we do offer for some of our programs is the option to add that professional placement for some of our masters. In particular for us, we offer professional placements for computational finance, data science and analytics, and machine learning. These are great options if you're sure that you want to study or you want to graduate with a year's worth of professional and industry work experience. It's a really good opportunity that we offer, but you don't have to add the professional placement to be able to graduate with that kind of experience. So just a little bit of information on sort of the research at Royal Holloway, something that we're very proud of. Our research is world leading. We're one of the UK's top 25 universities for research quality. So that is something that we're extremely proud of. 88% of our research was judged to be within the top 2 categories, so either 4-star or 3-star, which defines it as either world leading or internationally excellent. So again, that's something that we're very proud of. And we're also a founding member of a group of universities called Research Plus. So it's a strategic partnership of leading research-focused university, which gives us a sort of collaborative edge. And we were Royal Holloway was one of the founding universities of that organisation. And I've highlighted just a few of our areas of research where we demonstrate strength. So that includes climate and biodiversity, social justice and addressing inequalities, health and well-being, culture and creativity, and AI and new technologies as well. So this list list is not exhaustive. It just gives you an idea of some of the academic departments that we have at Royal Holloway. We have a very interdisciplinary approach to our teaching. So it's very possible that you might be studying the Department of History, but that's not to say that you won't have the opportunity to take classes or shape your program around and in other academic departments as well. But yeah, this is just a snapshot of some of the academic departments at the university. I wanted to do a little bit of an overview, quite a high level overview of some of the postgraduate courses that we offer at the University in Business, as this is a very popular subject area at Royal Holloway. The business school is our largest academic department, and it's a popular department with international students. So I just wanted to sort of demonstrate what we offer in what we offer in our masters in this subject area. So from accounting to project management through to marketing to entrepreneurship to international business management, there's quite a few different programs that we offer. And what I've also indicated is which of these are taught at the Central London campus. So our masters in project management, in logistics and supply chain management, and digital marketing. Those three are all taught in the Central London campus. The rest are all taught in Egham. So it also sort of demonstrates how you can't choose which campus you're taught at. It's just determined by which program you decide to apply to study. And I grabbed this from the business school because I really wanted to be able to give you an idea of where our graduates have gone and what kind of jobs they've got since graduating and what companies are employing Royal Holloway graduates. This is from the business school, so this is not exhaustive from the university, but I just wanted to be able to give you an idea of the types of different jobs that our students our graduates have gone into. And of course, this is not a full list, but just to give you an idea. And I'm sure that you're going to recognize some of those big corporate companies that are on the screen in front of you. And again, this is something else that Liz Day mentioned, which I'm really glad that was mentioned, is these industry connections, and definitely a strength of the UK in general, but so that you can see just some of the industry connections that we have at Royal Holloway to sort of back that up and demonstrate what is possible, what types of connections there are. This is across the university. Again, I just grabbed sort of a snapshot to give you an idea. So these are the connections that our academics have, that departments have with industry, which can be a real benefit to students whilst they're studying. But of course, once they've gone on to graduate as well, knowing that you have access to these industries and networks. So some of Royal Holloway's strengths, just a few, because I can't talk to you all evening or all day. I've highlighted a few that we're particularly proud of and that we are consistently sort of well known for and ranked highly for. So cybersecurity and information security. Our information security group was one of the first globally, and it remains a leading research centre. So our information and cybersecurity masters has a really, really strong reputation globally. We're well known for things like earth sciences and geography, and the department is consistently ranked among the top in the UK. We're very good for digital and media arts. We're ranked very well in the UK for film production and media arts, with award-winning academics that are teaching our students. Our MA International Media Management is a really good example of a master's that's interdisciplinary and situated in our Department of Media Arts, but is collaborative with the business school as well. Creative writing, classics, humanities. We're probably a university that's most well known for like humanities, but our MA in creative writing is consistently very, very well ranked and well known. Social sciences and politics as well. Again, students who might be interested in interdisciplinary or cross-cutting issues, can study across different different issues and departments like geopolitics, development, security, environment. Our curriculum is usually very, very flexible, so it really enables students to shape their masters and their programs around what they're interested in. And then computer science and data science, again, going back to our sort of reputation in cybersecurity as well. But yeah, just a very quick snapshot there for you. I'd really recommend, there's a link at the bottom of the screen, which I'll add to the chat at the end of the session so that you can explore some of our programs and courses in a bit more detail. So student life, in my experience, when I'm speaking to students at Royal Holloway, those that are getting the most out of their experience are definitely the students that are getting involved with social activities as well. Of course, we want you to succeed academically. That's the main goal. But students that are getting involved in things like clubs, societies, playing sports, getting a part-time job, these are usually students that are having the most fulfilling experience and expanding their networks as they go. So there's lots of different types of groups, over 100 different clubs that students can join, depending on what it is that you enjoy, who it is that you want to meet, and what it is that interests you. And yeah, there's a huge range. So right from the silly, like human versus zombies, and K-pop and fashion, through to political and ideological, academic societies, of course. So there's a huge range that students can join. And my recommendation to students, especially international students who are embarking on this exciting but also maybe quite daunting experience, is to join as many different club or society or sport as you think you might be interested in. It's such a great way to sort of start expanding your networks and meeting people. Sports in the UK as well, if you do play sport at a competitive level, of course, you can try out for one of the team. We have our own university leagues and we compete against one another. So if you do play it seriously and competitively, you can do that. But equally, if you do it just because you love it, or you want to try something new, or you want to play a sport for fun, we've got amazing like tennis courts, for example, at Royal Holloway, and maybe you've never played, but you think it could be a fun thing to do, then you can do that as well. So we embrace both those that want to play at a competitive level, but also those that just want to do it as something fun. So at Royal Holloway, different housing options depending on your preferences. If you're studying at our Egham campus, we guarantee housing for students, and there's different housing options depending on what your preferences are, depending on your budget, how centrally located you want to be, how many people you want to be living with, if you prefer the idea of having your own private bathroom, or if you want to keep your costs down and having shared bathroom facilities. There's different options there for different students. If you're studying at our central London campus, it's a bit different. We don't have guaranteed housing, but there are housing options, and we provide support for our students studying at that campus to ensure that they're staying somewhere nice and local. Unfortunately, this won't apply to any of you. At this point, I like to highlight in the presentation that our undergraduate students can live in a building that basically looks like a castle or Hogwarts, something from Harry Potter. But unfortunately, it's not available to our graduate students. So you will have to admire this building from the outside, and the facilities. I mean, there's a lot, you will be able to go into the building and take advantage of the teaching spaces. There's a few teaching spaces. There's also event spaces. There's an incredible dining hall. So you'll definitely have the advantage of being able to go into the building. Unfortunately, you just won't be able to live in it as a graduate student, but you can admire it from the outside. It's a very, very beautiful building. So we encourage our students, I've sort of touched on this already, we encourage our students to work part-time, and the university is an amazing employer. So if you want to earn a bit of money whilst you're studying, whether that's as a student ambassador or working in one of our many hospitality outlets, supporting the Students' Union, as I mentioned, there may be opportunities for you to support academics with their research. There are all of these opportunities for our students to be able to earn some money. So as an international student, your visa will permit you to work up to 20 hours a week, which, to be honest, once you've received your academic timetable, you've slotted in all your social activities, and all your independent study, 20 hours a week alongside all of that is quite a lot. But the great thing about the UK is you can get a job on campus, you can also get a job off campus. And because of our location, there's lots of opportunities for students to be able to get part-time work just off campus, but very conveniently located to where the university is. So yeah, we encourage students to get a part-time job. It helps, again, you learn skills, what it's like to work for an employer in the UK, and all sorts of transferable skills that employers will be looking for if you do decide that staying in the UK is something that you want to do. So again, this is something that Liz Day touched on, and probably one of the things that I think Royal Holloway is amazing at is supporting students with improving their employability. Look, I'll be honest, there's loads of opportunities for students, those that are career orientated, that want to take advantage of opportunities outside of your studies, but it's entirely up to you. You could easily study at the university and never step foot in our careers office. No one's going to chase you down the corridor and make you go and have a meeting to help you improve your LinkedIn profile or prepare a CV or get you excited for going to a job interview in the UK. But my recommendation, whichever university you go to study at, is take advantage of these support services. They're there for you, and they are well connected, and they can really support you and help you improve your employability whilst you're studying at the university. For us, the support doesn't just stop once you've graduated. You can keep in contact with our careers service up to 2 years once you've completed your studies. So that's another thing that I would highly recommend. But don't just sit back and expect everything to happen. Take advantage of all of the opportunities, whether that's attending a careers fair, or if there's networking opportunities that your academic department is supporting or organising. Uh, volunteering opportunities, lots of them are very little. We've got amazing opportunities for students to really improve your CV, and yeah, be
¿Soy yo o se le está trabando?
Se le está trabando.
Sí, ¿verdad?
Sí,
Le voy a mandar un chat.
sí.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can, Emma.
Oh, great. Did you lose me?
Yeah, we lost you like halfway there, I slide.
Oh, did I finish? Did you hear the rest of that slide? I think I covered most of
Probably
that
just like
slide,
from
right?
stand out from the crowd. If you can start all over again from there, then that's okay.
Yeah, of course. I mean, I think the main thing that I was trying to get across was how amazing Royal Holloway is at supporting students with their employability, and just to take advantage of these opportunities that are available to you. I think I mentioned, yeah, volunteering both local to the university, but also internationally for students that are entrepreneurial and want to start their own business. You can do that as well. You don't have to be studying business to be able to have this support. You could be studying anything and have the support to be able to take an idea and then execute that into a business of yours. So yeah, I'll continue on to the next bit. So as well as employability, the other thing that the university is really, really amazing at is how we support our international students. We've got an incredible students union that offer completely independent support and advice for students. We've got an international student support office who we work very, very closely with in the international student recruitment team. They are a team of colleagues who provide dedicated support exclusively to our international students right from the moment that you arrive onto campus until you graduate. You can go to them with any issue and they can support and guide you, whether it's to do with finances, your visa, whatever it might be. They're there to support and guide you. We've got accommodation-based support services. We run a new to the UK program. So all of our international students, we invite them onto campus 2 days before the start of the term so that you can get accustomed to what it's like studying at the university. There's a whole program of events. We put you into accommodation for free. The whole thing. It doesn't cost our students anything. We just want to make sure that you're settled, happy, feel comfortable and safe before embarking on your academic studies. But the university generally is amazing at providing support and guidance for students. We want you to feel as happy as you possibly can throughout this experience. So I won't go into too much detail because I really want to get to the questions. The application process is direct to the university. We're open for 2026. It's one application and it doesn't cost you very much to apply. Depending on what you're applying to study, we might need different documents from you. We'll need your most recent academic transcripts. Most of our programs are a personal statement, but essentially what we're looking for is your interest, passion, knowledge, enthusiasm for the subject that you're applying to study, and then everything else we can ask for if it's needed. English language we will need, but we don't necessarily need it at the point of application. So the academic requirements, they vary depending slightly on the program that's being applied to study. Most of our programs will ask for a 7 or 8 out of 10 in your undergraduate degree. Bear in mind that for some programs, there might be subject-specific requirements. As mentioned, we do require the English language requirements. I've put our IELTS sort of standard offer, a standard requirement, usually somewhere between a 6.0. 6.0 is usually fairly standard, to be honest. Some programs require slightly higher, but 6.0 is what most of them are asking for. And we accept lots of different international English language tests, not just IELTS. So please check our English language requirements so that you can see that full list. Some of this has been mentioned already. So the tuition fees vary depending on the program. Most of our courses are around £25,000 per academic year. We obviously have an agreement with FUNED, which includes an automatic tuition fee discount. Liz Day's mentioned the Great Scholarship, which is worth £10,000. We do have a separate international master scholarship, which is worth a £4,000 discount for students from Mexico. And then we have some subject-specific scholarships. So depending on the program that you're applying to study, there may be additional scholarships that you can apply to. One thing I'll just add very quickly here is something you can't do is combine discounts. So if you're selected to be awarded the Great Scholarship, you can't combine that discount with the discount from FUNED and the International Masters Scholarship. So if there was a situation where you're eligible for more than one discount, we just give you the one that's worth the most. And I can basically guarantee that for this year, for 2026, that would be the Great Scholarship, which is why I would strongly encourage you to apply to that if you apply to Royal Holloway. And just to add that we don't have a limit on the courses that are open for the Great Scholarship. All of our masters, you would be able to apply for the Great Scholarship. I think all of this is covered. Amazing location, quality educational experience. The university is very rich in history, culture, and the arts. It's beautiful. Around 20% of our students are from outside of the UK. Again, something that is that Liz Day mentioned. It's amazing for our students to be in a classroom. I can guarantee you'll be in a classroom with students from a completely different part of the world, and it really adds value to your educational experience. Before your academics have even taught you something, you're beginning to sort of build these global networks, which is so valuable. we're incredibly safe, and we're also very close to beautiful Windsor. So I think that's everything, just some more pictures, but I can't stress it enough. The campus is beautiful and photogenic. Check it out online to get a sense of that for yourself. And just to say, as I mentioned, I'm in the UK. I'm very happy to answer any questions that you have. I work very closely with a contact who's based in Mexico, Itzel, who's also on the call. So if you ever wanted to arrange an in-person meeting or catch up with her, she would also be very happy to help and support. So I think I've whizzed through that as quickly as I can. Hopefully there's time for some questions as well.
Thank you so much, Emma. That was great. And yeah, there's time for some questions. We already have some in the chat, but if anyone wants to open their mics and ask away, you're welcome to. So Joel asks, he has a background in legislative advising and human rights in Mexico, and he wants to know about the MSc in terrorism and counterterrorism studies. How much of the curriculum focuses on practical policy making versus academic theory? That's
a very
specific.
I was just about to say, I would say for really specific questions like that, reach out to me directly and we can have a conversation about it. And actually, one thing I would say is our academics, certainly those that I have spoken to and been in contact with so far, are incredibly friendly and open. And if you really wanted to dig deep into the content of a program, I could even put you in contact with an academic colleague. So yeah, I feel like maybe Santos, if you're okay contacting me directly, we can have that conversation.
Thank you, Emma. Maybe you can you can share again the screen where you have your email and Itzel's email, please.
Yeah, no problem. Let me just pop them in the chat. So that's
super.
mine, and I'll grab Itzel's as well.
There's another question about how much does it take to process the CAS?
In terms of the speed?
Yeah, I guess. And if you provide guidance for visa application process.
Yeah, we definitely provide guidance. I would actually say I understand the visa process is always quite daunting for students. I think that this process, deciding what you want to study and where you want to study and getting in your scholarship applications, that is actually the most challenging bit. Honestly, the visa application is more a box ticking exercise, which we provide support and guidance with. So the time that it takes to get your CAS really depends on the situation. It depends on, because there's always a bottleneck situation where in June and July and August, when to providing their final transcript. And so things can take a little bit longer depending on the time of year, but generally we're pretty good and efficient. But yeah, it's basically a box ticking exercise which we provide support and guidance with. Oh, and I can also see that it's always done my job for me and put in her email. So both our email addresses are in the chat there.
Thank you. There's another question. Does Royal Holloway offer on-campus employment opportunities?
Yep. Yeah, let me see if I can, what I can try and do. Hopefully this won't mess up the chat too much for you, Sophia, but if I put some links in as I go. But yeah, there's lots of different opportunities for students to work part-time. And I think I mentioned that the university is actually a brilliant employer for students. So working as things like student ambassadors, supporting us with events, with graduation, with open days, working in cafes, bars, restaurants that are all located on campus. Yeah, there's lots and lots of different job opportunities for students to work on campus, which makes it really easy for students to fit their work around their study schedule, and you can sort of pick and choose the jobs that you want to do basically. But equally, if you want to get a job on campus, you can do that too.
There's another question. Are the tuition fees for the MSc paid in a single payment, in a single installment, or is there any option to pay multiple installments?
You can pay in one go, but there's not really any advantage to do so. Otherwise, it's in two payments. So split 50%, which is paid at the point of enrollment, So usually by the end of September, and then the second payment, which is by the end of January.
Super. Thank you. Joel, había visto que tenías la mano levantada. ¿Quieres abrir tu micrófono?
Hi everyone.
Hello.
Well, no, just to say many thanks for the presentations. As a legal professional from Mexico, with a strong interest in security policy, I am very excited about the academic rigor in Royal Holloway. I appreciate the guidance on the grade scholarship, and I will be reaching out the licensing officer shortly. Just I will contact you in order to resolve the question I already made it. But thank you. Just that.
Gracias.
And have an excellent day
No
and
problem.
a great year.
Oh, you too. Nice. Thank you.
Gracias.
Gracias. I think hopefully, let me just put a link in the chat. I wanted to share sorry, now I've done it twice. A link to the Great Scholarship, which explains how to apply to the Great Scholarship at Royal Holloway. And to say that our deadline is actually quite late. It's not that, my recommendation is always get your applications prepared and sent as early as possible so that you don't stress about being late for anything. But our deadline is Monday, the 11th of May, which might be a little bit later than some of the other universities that Lizday had mentioned there.
Thank you. Paulina.
Hi. Yes, thank you. I have just a question. I think I confuse the things. Am I able to have multiple scholarships or it's only one with Royal Halloway? It's only one, right? And the biggest? Is that
Yeah.
Okay.
The discount is only one, but as Lizday said, you can apply to other funding sources. So you can be awarded the £10,000 scholarship by the British Council, the Great Scholarship, but you can still get a loan or funding from FUNED, for example. But the discount that we would ordinarily award you with FUNED would not be applied as well. So you would just get the scholarship, but you can still get the funding. Have I explained that well? Liz, they might want to add.
Yeah. And another thing, Paulina, that probably you should take into account is I put the website where we have all the universities that are open for Greater Scholarships. You can apply to more than one university, but that doesn't mean that you will get more than one scholarship. So why I suggest that you apply early, because if you apply from now, for example, and you say, okay, I'm going to choose the university, the Royal Holloway, and then I'm going to choose Aberdeen, and then I'm going to choose St. Andrews, which are the ones that come to my head that are opening the Great Scholarships. You will have to decide at some point which one you're going to go for, because it sounds easy, but each university has its requirements. So it's a lot of things that you may have to fulfill, because maybe, I don't know, Royal Holloway will ask you for IELTS, and then St. Andrews will ask you for TOEFL. So that's already two different kind of English exams. So just kind of work around those things. And as Emma said, you can add funding. You cannot add the scholarships. The biggest is the great one. So I would say go for the great scholarships, and then you can complement it with FUNED or with any kind of other funding that you may be allowed to do. Mm-hmm.
Okay, thank you very much.
Exactly. And you can also complement funding bodies like FUNED and FIDER.
Yes.
There's a question in the chat, Edith. I would like to ask whether the cost associated with the international volunteer programs is covered by the scholarship, or if they represent an additional expense.
So the scholarship is basically a contribution towards your tuition fees. So that's really all that the scholarships, that certainly the Great Scholarship will cover, and most of our internal scholarships are awarded in the same way. So they're basically awarded as a tuition fee discount. So for the international volunteer programs that I mentioned, that Royal Holloway offers students, there probably would be costs incurred. Because the programs and the companies that organize these and run these don't pay for flights and things like that, but they're usually very, very low cost, and perhaps things like accommodation and housing and food would be covered. So they're low cost, but they're certainly not included in the scholarship.
Thank you. Well, it's 12:02 now, so I think if anyone has any other questions, we have time for one more, I guess, and then we can wrap it up. ¿Alguna otra pregunta? Okay. Just thank you so much, Lindsay and Emma, for your time, for the support. We do hope to see a lot of students getting the great scholarship this year at Royal Holloway. It's very exciting that you guys have that scholarship this year. Please do not hesitate to ask any questions. If anyone else has any questions, you can write to us. And also this was recorded, so anyone that wants to come back to it can find it on our YouTube channel in the next couple of days. Thank you so much for your time. Have a great afternoon, and Emma, have a good night.
Thank you.
So much. Thank you, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.